The fact that you're going to come in and do this is absurd. You have no sense of community whatsoever because you probably have no friends.
Residents came out in full force to the St. Augustine Planning and Zoning Board meeting Tuesday night to express their opposition to the proposed eco park development on the San Sebastian River in the Ravenswood neighborhood. Let's hear what they had to say.
Why should the city permit this destruction just so he can cram a maximum number of units onto this fragile property?
It's absurd to think of putting this huge dock in there. It's too shallow. It's full of oysters.
The neighborhood should not have to give up valuable wetlands so a developer can maximize his profit.
And what's frustrating is that you're probably going to do it, and people are going to be pissed.
Put a little park to actually help the community instead of just making room for the rich and greedy.
Florida Avenue is not big enough with the infrastructure. All of that land there has been wetland.
You don't just fill in a wetland. That water has got to go somewhere.
The proposed bulkhead would damage the wetlands to maximize the proposed development for profit to the developer.
Instead of being called Eco Park, it should be called Ego Park.
The board unanimously voted to delay a decision on the multifamily residential project until July over a proposed bulkhead that would have substantial impacts to the wetlands. Zoning Board Chairman Mike Adams.
Working together is the best way to get this resolved. I hope that everyone will understand that eventually that property is going to be developed. So I would encourage you to reach out as well as the neighborhood and try to work as best as you possibly can.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. A multi-vehicle crash involving two semi-trucks and an SUV caused the closure of all northbound lanes of Interstate 95 in St. Johns County for hours yesterday. The collision occurred between State Road 206 and State Road 207, causing one of the semis to flip and spill its load of potatoes, while the other jackknifed. Two other vehicles hit the guardrail in an attempt to avoid the crash. Rapid incident scene clearance crews were called to the scene, including road rangers to provide gasoline to stranded drivers. One person complained of knee pain, but no one was taken to the hospital. The crash was cleared near the unincorporated community of Spuds, which is known for its potato farming. St. Augustine's Easter Parade is at 9 a.m. this Saturday.
Laura Murphy with Oldest City Easter says the parade steps off at the Old Jail Museum.
It continues south on San Marco along the bayfront. Then it turns west on Cathedral Place along the plaza. And then it finally turns north on Cordova, ending at Orange Street. And because the parade does start at 9 a.m., we do have to shut the streets down ahead of time. So please allow extra time to get where you want to be for the parade. The parade route will close to vehicle traffic at 8 a.m.
It will be a blend of old and new traditions.
As part of our historic traditions, we do start out with our wonderful horse group that kicks off the parade. And then they're going to be followed by the St. Augustine Royal Family. And then the Royal Family Entourage will be debuting a brand new float that's going to be modeled after the Castillo de San Marcos. Our parade Grand Marshal will be Sarah Gaver. She is a very inspirational woman, and she currently holds the title of Miss Wheelchair USA. In addition, we have many other entries in this year's parade. We actually have more entries this year than we did last year, and that will make it the largest parade we've ever hosted.
Tune in tomorrow for shuttle information. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
Monsignor Mortimer Danaher, who helped shape the Diocese of St. Augustine in numerous ways, died on Wednesday, March 29th. He was 93 years old. Liz Ryan spoke to his longtime friend, Jerry Whedon.
Monsignor Danaher was born in Limerick, Ireland in 1929. He started in the seminary, and while he was there, Archbishop Joseph Hurley, the Bishop of St. Augustine, came and visited. Bishop Hurley convinced him that he ought to come to Florida, so he did. He was ordained in 1953. At that time, there was only one diocese in the entire state of Florida, east of the Apalachicola River.
They noticed the Monsignor had an affinity for teaching.
They sent him to the Catholic University in 1954, I think. He came back here and he immediately was made the president of Bishop Kenny, who was also the superintendent of schools here for this diocese, all the while being the pastor of San Jose Parish.
When he finally retired, he certainly didn't slow down.
He would go visit every person he knew that was ever in the hospital, said Mass once a week in one of the local nursing homes, worked every Saturday in the soup kitchen downtown, and he was always available for friends to have dinner, lift a pint or two, tell a story. He had great wit and a beautiful Irish brogue.
If you'd like to come out and honor the life of Monsignor Danaher, Jerry has service details.
The funeral is Tuesday night at Holy Family Catholic Church on Bay Meadows Road in Jacksonville at 7 p.m. And the next day at 10 a.m. will be the Mass of Christian burial. We're expecting 3 bishops of the Catholic Church and many of the clergy here who benefited from his being a mentor and a pioneer.
His loved ones will be coming from far and wide.
He has 11 nieces and nephews coming from Ireland and Washington and Canada. He was one of 8 children. All of his siblings are in heaven now with him.
For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
And now you're up to date with St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.